Man, first and foremost, thank you for coming on the platform. It's definitely an honor, man.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We're gonna get right into it. I know you got moves to make.
Yeah.
For the viewers, I know they definitely recognize you, but for the ones that don't, let them know what your name is and definitely where you from.
Yo, Cisco Reyes, man. Actor, producer, writer from New York. And yeah, man, that's me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now I wanted to ask you, like, how did you even get into acting? Is that something that people in your family was doing? Is that something you did in school, or is that something you got into kind of later in life?
I mean, I did a little something in high school, but I didn't really join the theater club because I thought they were all honestly, I thought they were a bunch of weirdos, you know what I mean? And so I never wanted to do the high school plays, the West Side Stories, and all that stuff. I can't lie. I wish I did. Now that I look back on it, um, but I used to write like sketches, like in living color, and put them up on stage with the homies. And we used to. One of the homies used to rap and sing, and we used to be dancing, backup dancing type stuff, but on some like when in the '90s when it was actually cool to dance. You know what I mean? Um, but other than that, when I went to film school in Morgan State University in Baltimore, um, actually that's when I really started to get into acting, film, directing, writing, um, doing indies all around Baltimore, up and down the East Coast, New York, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's cool. That's cool. I know you mentioned and Living Color. Who were some of your influences? Because I mean, for you to even get into it that deep to where you actually writing, back then in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? That seemed like that was dope, to be able to do that. Now you see a lot of people doing it on like TikTok and Instagram, like short little clips, but you know.
Oh man, well, I mean, shoot, all the Waynes are mad talented. But I can't lie, some of my favorite characters or comedians on that show were like Jim Carrey, definitely. I always did Fire Marshal Bill, um, Homeboy Shopping Network, David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson, um, Jamie Foxx, all of them. They were just to me that's when comedy was funny. That's when comedy was raw. It was unforgiving, unapologetic. That's when shit was funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, and Living Color was definitely innovative. You know what I'm saying? Show. I had a couple guests from In Living Color on here. Shout out to Tommy Davidson. Uh, um, she going Anne Marie Johnson. She was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. She played Cherry. So I had a couple in Living Color guests on here, man. So big shout out to them. And I can ask you, going from New York to Baltimore, what was that transition like? Was it a significant change in the environment, or were they kind of similar?
I mean, Baltimore is a different city in itself. It's like it's a fast paced country, hood city. Um, they acted like they were from New York, but they also acted like they were from North Carolina or Virginia. Um, but it was cool. I went to Morgan State, and that was an HBCU. So a lot of my friends were from Jersey, New York, Philly, VA, DC, and and Baltimore, of course. And those were probably some of the best years of my life. I had an amazing time, and it's when hip hop was authentic. When if a fight broke out, a fight broke out, and maybe one person had a gun, but was maybe not gonna shoot it. So you didn't have to worry about people getting shot left and right. Even though Baltimore was grimy and raw, um, it was no joke. It was the wire straight up. It was the corner. You know, Greenmount, North Ave. you know, it was popping. So you didn't want to get caught out there just slipping, wandering around Baltimore. But Morgan State, I got mad love for, um, and I got mad love for Baltimore too. So it was a great time down there. So the transition from New York to down there, it was only a couple hours away. So a lot of the times we just hop in the whip and on the Peter Pan, the Greyhound, and 2 hours later we were back home. If we wanted to, and I used to do that quite often. But then it got to a point where I just kind of stayed down there and just sold my royal oats and paid my dues and got my hustle on and just learned how to survive as a young man.
Wow, that's what's up. Now I gotta ask you, when do you feel like you got your first big break?
First big break. I guess a lot of people would say um, Next Day Air, which was definitely a big film, a lot of big stars, studio. Um, Benny Boom's first movie. Leading up to that, I did a lot of guest stars, co-stars on shows like CSI New York, CSI Miami, Zoli and Isles, Numbers, Daybreak, Parkers. So I kind of was just working my way up the totem pole until the homies gave me a shot to come in and read for Next Day Air, Jesus, and I had no choice but to go in there and murder it, and I got the role. So it was dope working with Mike Epps, Darius McCrary, Donald Faison, uh, Debbie Allen, Omari Hardwick, um, you name it. Like it was Emilio Rivera. It was cool. It was a lot of fun, and especially Benny that I've been known before that, and But I at the end of the day, I still had to audition and may improving, show and prove.
Wow, that's what's up. That definitely was my first introduction to you, man. You did your thing, and you named a lot of giants, man. They did their thing as well. That's definitely a classic for sure.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like it's a cult classic now. Definitely a hood classic, but it has slowly became a cult classic, and and I can say that firsthand because when I went to France and the young cats out there were like, "Yo, you were from the movie, fuck those eggs." Hey Zeus, hey, me and my boys, we smoke weed and we watch a movie. And then I went to Belize, and the Belizeans were like, "That's what it is. You're from, you're Jesus. You're from Next Day Air." And so just seeing these two different sides of the earth, Europe, uh, Central America, and they both said the exact same thing that the cats in the hood in New York, in LA, and in DC say. Yo, we smoke a L and just watch a movie, man. I lost a light. Um, but yeah, it's it's pretty dope to see that the movie has made it that far.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Now I gotta ask you, like, now how did you go from like Baltimore to? I guess I suppose you went out to California at some point. Did you move out there, or you was living out there, or you just went out there for a couple auditions, or how did that go?
No, I mean, I came out here to visit a couple of times. I had some peoples out here, so I came to visit. Um, you know, I got introduced to a few people, but they were all like, "Yo, man, if I can help you out, but not until you move here." And so like when you move here, I got you. And those were only like week long stays, and I thought to myself like, okay, um, this is cool. But I always knew I was gonna end up in California. I always knew everybody that I admired, the shows that I wanted to work on. the things I wanted to do all took place in LA. And but before that, when I graduated Morgan, I got my film degree and all that good stuff, I was going back and forth to New York a lot and doing productions up there, doing productions in uh, Baltimore and DC. I had my own little cable access show, CPR Productions, Crazy Puerto Rican, and where I would just wild it out on different college campuses, different, festivals and Black Bike Weekend in Myrtle Beach, Freakniks and the Platte, the Greek in Philly, Penn Relays, just Harlem Week and just be wilding. And but then I started thinking I was like I need to get out here, and I just picked up everything, sold all my stuff, came out here with like a couple duffel bags full of clothes, and you know hit the ground running.